That's it.
Let's talk about the necessity of Catholicism. Is the Catholic doctrine still relevant?
Still
is it
relevant?
still needed?
Right?
Is it still needed?
Yeah.
What say you?
Yeah, I think Catholicism is more relevant than ever today.
Yeah.
I think in the digital age, the world we live in today, everything changes so quickly, but more quickly than even in the past. Like the world's always evolving, right? The world's always changing, trends, everything's always, up, down and whatever, but there's always a need for a constant. What Catholicism brings to the world is a constancy and a continuity and something that never changes. And I think that brings people a lot of peace, knowing that amongst everything around them that's changing, there's something in their life that never changes no matter what. So I would say it's more relevant today than ever before. Why is Catholicism necessary? Well,
let's just say, make it more definitive.
Yeah.
Is why is it needed spiritually?
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay.
Good one.
We'll pose the question that way.
Yeah.
Why is it needed spiritually in this world?
Yeah.
Why do people need Catholicism? Not just the Christian culture. Yeah.
Why do people need Catholicism spiritually in this world?
Yeah, well, people need spirituality. That's a bottom line, talking point. We need to have something that we can take all of our problems to, everything that's going through our brain, the things we encounter on a day-to-day life basis. We need something to unpack that and let it go and vent towards that. So that's throughout human history, humans have always looked up to some type of higher being, creator, something of that nature.
Or an ultimate good, right?
Yeah, that's a non-negotiable in human history. Yeah. We live in the only time period since the birth of humanity where some people think that God is not necessary, or religion or spirituality is not necessary. If you go and look at archaeological sites in South America, for example, the Incans, the Mayans, they all worship something. Yeah. The Pacific Islanders, the people the people we descend from, they worship something. Everyone always worshipped or believed in something.
The Europeans as well, and just to state more of a fact, is that they needed Catholicism because when a lot of these people that went on expeditions, right, to discover new lands, and they were killing people by the thousands a day to sacrifice to their gods, right? So when they got to South America, that was going on. So Catholicism basically stopped all that, right? The Spanish army, or whoever was the authority figure at the time, said this has to stop. They're just killing each other left, right and centre, especially kids, right? So if you go, I think a lot of archaeological sites throughout Europe and other places, there's massive burial deaths, like massive burials of babies' heads, arms, bodies, and that. So obviously they must have been sacrificed to some sort of god, right? Or propitiation.
Just like the Incas and all those sort of civilizations. Yeah,
right. So that needed to stop. Human sacrifice and all that, and then trafficking and all this other stuff, right? And then it's like there's always been Western civilization, even before Christianity took off in Rome and then spread out to the world and permeated, right?
Yep.
But Christianity, basically through Catholicism, notably, brought the higher culture. And people must understand that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. And just on that point, if you look at the world around you, I think most people can agree that there are major issues in today's world. And
without a doubt.
They're so rampant.
Yep.
I don't know, because I was born within this millennium.
Yep.
So I'm Gen Z, but I'm guessing from your perspective, things have probably gotten worse since you were a kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've heard that from so many people your age. And there's a clear parallel, like with the decline of religion, the world's problems grow. The less people who practice religion, it seems, or statistically speaking at least, if you put the two figures beside each other, less people practicing religion or believing, the world's issues and problems, societal problems, just keep going up and up and up. So I'm a big fan of statistics and numbers, and I believe they don't lie. So
absolutely, I believe that. I think that for a long time, this thing about self-determination, secularism, and all of these things that people
and the scientific mind, Darwinism, and all of these things, and we were going down that path, and it led a lot of people to perdition. It led a lot of people that may have been saved or whatever and it didn't work. It doesn't work.
No.
It does not work, and I think that there's a real battle there, the battle between good and evil. I feel like it's really, coming up, man, and a lot of people are starting to wake up.
Yeah.
They're really questioning. Okay, what is because all these things. Darwinism's falling over, man. It is the evolution. The saying that we evolved. Mate, they are looking into these things and discovering. Well, hang on, we couldn't have. By nature, we couldn't have evolved, and they're using it now with the advent of AI and the computing power that they've got.
Yeah.
They're running all these models, and it's saying no. You guys didn't come from Neanderthals, man.
Yeah.
It's clearly something happened there where, bang, there was a creation event. That's what it's pointing to.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
100%. It's pretty ironic, though, with the so-called evolution of science, right? Like the updates that we get from science, evolution itself is starting to be disproven, right? As science evolves, evolution is being disproven. Well, Darwin's theory of evolution anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. AI is another problem that the world is facing. It's producing things it's producing some good things like that, but it's producing some bad things as well.
It really is. I've been a perpetrator in that sense. Talking about the AI.
Oh yeah, I use it sometimes as well. Chat GPT.
So I've got I do have an AI program, and I did show Rino that the weekend. It's shocking what it can do. Absolutely shocking. And I did ask AI. I asked do you believe in God? And it was leaning more towards the left sort of secularism sort of.
Yeah.
So very interesting to see what happens. But as we develop more and we get into this AI, the computational power of AI, quantum, the quantum science, with the quantum computing coming up, and hopefully they can get it stable enough to start using. Mate, like I said to Ambrose, the things that I've been watching, so the further they're looking into it, and there's a science community out there that are just scratching their heads saying, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Because they're starting to find that there's scientific theories that they have taught and institutionalized. And this is the thing, getting back to the constant of the Catholic Church. Yeah. What the Catholic Church has been teaching all this time has been a constant. Yes. Yet these scientific dogmas and all of these things change. Yes. It's like they've changed it more times than I've had a baked dinner. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the more it changes, and I know it's going to change because they're finding these different things. It just loses credibility.
Yes.
In a society, so right now you've got all these people, they call them conspiracy theorists, but people are fed up with this mainstream kind of noise, I call it. But
also sorry to interject, also with Catholicism as well, if anything else, it's like a mechanism that stops society from rolling back into barbarism. So how it works is basically when Catholicism goes up, paganism goes down. When Catholicism goes down, look at Europe.
Yep.
Look at England. Look at everywhere, right? Paganism goes up.
Yep.
And that's as simple as I can put it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What are your thoughts on, just getting to this other subject, because I want your opinion on, is with the rise of secularism in Western society, does that then sort of open that back door for Islam to, because a lot of people that are searching for truth, and if they're not in the faith, if they're not walking in that faith, and they're looking, and then, all of a sudden Islam's there, and okay, let's get into this, and they get, they become indoctrinated, and they see that as the purpose.
Well, people are always looking for something higher and greater than themselves, right? So if Christianity's not there, it's sort of like you're not going to just stay atheist. The majority of people want to believe in something, right? Yeah. And they do believe in there's something out there, whether it's a pantheist worldview or something, they just believe there's something out there, right? So it's like if Christianity's not there and Islam is fixed, right?
Yeah.
Fixed. Right, they go, well, I'll just take on Islam, right?
Yep.
That's the problem. It doesn't just go away, right? So they're basically what's happening is like they're trying to replace the old world, right? And they literally want to eradicate the blueprint of Christianity in Europe. So that's what's going on. That's why I said if Catholicism goes up, everyone goes back to church, keeps the Sabbath holy, right? Live virtuous lives. Paganism, all of this transgender BS, everything will go down.
My goodness.
Right? And once Catholicism is removed, and then the chains of the devil are loose.
Yeah.
And then, it's just open season, right?
I've got to do something for that.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, very interesting. You know, so people that say they're agnostic and they're the ones that are falling into this, either going to become Muslim or whatever. But what is it, Ambrose? And I ask this question to you because in your generation, there seems to be a lot of Pacific Islanders that have sort of followed into that.
Is that true or just a made-up narrative? Because you got the rise of conservative Christianity and all of this stuff, right?
Yeah, no, it is true.
Yeah.
It is true. A lot of the boys that not I necessarily hung out with, but I knew of back in the day, you know, just people you know of.
Yeah.
A lot of them are Muslims now. That is true. The reason being, I attribute this to this reason, is that most of them come from Protestantism, which is very wishy-washy, as we know.
There you go.
Most of them would have grown up evangelical or Pentecostal or one or the other, right?
Wow.
And they're in church waving hands, and the pastor's telling them Jesus is your best friend, and Jesus is just hugs and kisses all the time, right?
Yeah.
And
That's as far as religion goes for these people.
Yeah.
So I completely understand when young men who want to be masculine men don't exactly buy that type of Christianity.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think most masculine men.
They're looking for that, you know.
Yeah, they want
they're looking for
realness.
authority, mate.
Yeah.
They're looking for the authority.
They're looking for authority. They're looking for certainty.
Yeah.
And they're looking for strength, right? Every man looks for those things. Security.
Yeah.
In Islam, they find that it's a strong religion, as in the people who practice it aren't willing to break their principles. So the doctrines within that religion are safeguarded. Like no one can alter what has been said in the past, or else, you know, certain things happen to those people, right?
Yep.
And that's appealing to men. The problem is, like, they don't realize within Christianity itself there are alternative modes of Christianity, like Catholicism, where you get that same type of strength, same type of security, but it's still linked all the way back to Jesus Christ, right?
Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, so they leapfrog over that, not knowing that it's right next door.
They were there.
Yeah.
They were there.
Yeah.
The thing is, the key point to take away from this, I didn't hear you say they're seeking truth. They're just literally looking for a religion that will match their personality, right? Or something I could subscribe to. Because I just want to be tough and that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about people looking for the truth, those are the people I want in my religion, right?
Yeah.
Not just because it's trending or anything like
Trending.
that. So you could almost say, like, Islam in a few places, especially jail and whatever, all your tough guys, they look at it as a belligerent, fatalistic philosophy, if you will, right? And they go, I want to be a part of that. It's like, you hit me, I'll hit you back. There's no forgiveness, there's none of this, right?
There's none of that,
So there
It's
could
all
be
Old
this
Testament sort of-
element,
Yep.
in that. But what Ambrose didn't say is they're looking for truth now, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you got to look at.
Yeah, and the ones who are looking for truth eventually
End up with Catholicism.
they end up somewhere else usually.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, but there is a very big uptick within the Anglo-Saxon community.
Yep.
A lot of, like in England, for example, a lot of whites have converted to Islam.
Yep.
You see them all the time on like Instagram Reels and TikTok and all that
I
kind of
often
thing.
wonder about them if there was an AI created, because, you know, there's this perfectly looking Anglo-Saxon lady, and she's there sprouting the verses out of the Quran, and she's fully, and she's got the hijab on and all of that sort of stuff. And
But
is this authentic, or is this, you know?
Yes, but then vice versa. Look how many converts came into Christianity from Africa, a lot of Muslim countries in the Middle East and Asia. Heaps, right? Tens of thousands.
Yep.
Like, look at Iran. It's literally not an Islamic state anymore. Like, most of the people subscribe to the Bible.
Really?
Yeah.
It's growing,
It's growing.
That's good. That's a great movement. I saw some videos, like even in Iraq, I saw, you know, and, you know, at the time of Saddam Hussein, I felt like the Christians there, there were more Christians, and Saddam Hussein once said the Christians in Iraq are the flower of Iraq.
Yeah,
That's what he described them as. You know.
Yeah.
And then when Saddam was wiped out,
yeah,
those numbers, mate, they were hiding, bro.
Look,
You know.
yeah.
Because I spoke to an Iraqi that was here.
Right.
When I went to fix my phone one time, and he told me about this.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, to me, that's crazy. You know.
Yeah.
So under certain dictators, they were allowed to practice the faith. But then as soon as,
Yes.
So
well, that's the thing I sort of ask questions about, right? So I think when Saddam Hussein, I'm not sure, I've got to research this stuff. I don't know where I read it. It's like he looked after the Christians. They could practice their faith freely.
Yep.
And they were saying, oh, he's such a dictator, right? He's a despot. He's cruel. He's this and that. But I'm like, what kind of leader do you know to put Arabs in their place?
Yeah.
What sort of leader do you need?
Yeah.
No terrorist would dare cross Iraqi borders when he was alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Right? And I think when he was removed, then all the terrorists were like, oh, he's gone. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
They all come out.
Yeah.
Well, look at what's happening in Hamas. So look, and I've got to be very careful. But so in Hamas, in Gaza, sorry.
Yeah.
So as soon as they have the ceasefire and they had the withdrawal of the ADF, so Hamas have come back into the streets and are publicly executing people that they said, were friends with the Israelis, and that's crazy. So there's these TikTok videos of Hamas out there doing public executions.
So they were like executing Gazan natives, saying that they were collaborating.
They were collaborators. So all the collaborators. So right now, the Hamas are looking for the collaborators. They're publicly executing, and Donald Trump has said, "Stop, or we will come in there and kill you all." Unalive.
That's
we'll come and unalive you.
That's insane. I wonder how that's going to go, right? How that's going to kick off. But isn't it funny that World War I came from a single shot? Right? Was it like a Serbian student that was in Sarajevo at the time, and he killed Franz Ferdinand, the Archduke of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, right?
Yeah, it was a Serbian.
And obviously that's been oversimplified, like just one shot. There must have been a lot.
Must have been something leading up to it.
Must have been a lot of things working up to that, right?
Yep.
But this is something else I was thinking about, having said this, about, let's just say, DVs, right? Just going to talk about DVs just quickly. And I'm like, dude, there's so many people out there, right, that get removed from their homes, right, over one act that's never happened before.
Yep.
And I'm like, you guys didn't investigate the build-up to how this person got to that place?
Yep.
So this guy or this woman, because it's rampant in the lesbian community, gay community, lesbian on lesbian, they're just always fine. There's so much I think they're the worst.
Statistically, they're the biggest breakup numbers.
So I'm thinking, okay, this is the problem. Like, I'm not advocating for domestic violence, but I'm just saying just a bit of understanding, right? So this guy hits this woman, right? There's no investigation to the build-up, but you can charge him with that, but you can't charge a woman for messing with his mind, lying to him, right, doing all this other stuff. You can't charge a woman.
There's no accountability.
Yes, right, for being a narcissist and that, and then
absolutely.
poking this bear all the time. 30 years later or 20 years, bang.
Yep.
Right, he gets done.
Yep. And it's just one.
Yeah, I'm just, come on, man. Let's just be a little bit fair here.
You've got to put things in perspective. Yeah. Absolutely. That was pretty out of it, sort of.
Yeah. Everything's perspective, man. Yeah.
So now that we have crossed into the Middle East, I would like to talk about
the chosen ones?
The ones that I believe have been roaming the Middle Eastern deserts looking for manna, waiting for the Messiah to come back. And I really, my heart bleeds for them because, I mean, look, they're remarkable people, what they've endured, what they have endured, and what they will continue to endure if they don't accept the truth. But that's my view. And there'll be, well, I live in Australia, so I don't have to be careful about that. I won't be banned like Candace Owens, but...
Yes. See, there's a lot of talk about, I think in the Christian community, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I stand corrected, what role the Jewish people play at the end of the world or before the second coming of Christ. Is there a role that they need to play?
Well, yeah, that is contested within even Catholic circles. I think there's no really clear defined doctrine on that subject,
Right.
and it's a point of contention. But I would say the majority suggests that, like the scholars, I mean, suggest that there is a definitive role that the Jews will be playing at the end of the world. How that works exactly, we're not sure. And there's nothing in Scripture that tells us exactly what's going to happen. But
you can only guess as much, right?
Yeah.
With certain things, but
deduct,
they're very murky.
Yeah.
Like they talk about two witnesses, right, in the Bible. Some people have put names Enoch and Elias will come to, I think, near the end of the world before the second coming of Christ to convert the Jews and bring them back to where they should be. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically what Christianity is just a continuation of the Hebrew faith. Well, that's basically what it is.
What advice would you give, or could you give, like the people that are wandering the Middle East, contesting borders, and what do they need to come into the faith? They need to come to the faith. How is that ever going to happen?
Look, with God, anything is possible. But like you said, there's a lot of contention in interpreting Scripture because there's no real clear cut. There's not cut and dry, right?
Yeah.
With certain things in the Bible. You can only guess as much, right? So I think some people believe that the Jews are the olive stock that the Bible's talking about, that they'll be grafted back to the plant where they came from. So once they're connected with the faith that they're supposed to have, they will be crackerjack Catholics, right? So I don't think even the Jews...
crackerjacks.
Yes, I don't even think the Jews know that. But if they convert to Catholicism, it's where God wanted them to be.
Yeah.
It's where Jesus wanted them to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so once they come back to the truth, it's almost like the religion from Adam and Eve up until Christ is in their DNA.
Yeah.
Everything is there.
Wow. The UK, what's going on over there with the these mass protests that we're seeing? Mass protests that we're seeing, and we're talking about. So some of the so there's a story about an imam who's a is it Birmingham, who's the mayor, and voted in by a majority, obviously, Muslim population.
Yeah.
And I think that's becoming very common around the world.
Yeah.
We see that everywhere, really, where the demographics are.
Yeah.
You know, even here in Sydney.
Changing, isn't it?
Even here in Sydney, you see that if there's a majority Muslim population, demographic, and then it's usually the case.
Yeah.
But interestingly, in saying that, so you look at that, and that's true of areas like Auburn. In Blacktown, you see Indians in the council as serving as like councillors and that. But interestingly enough, even areas of higher Pacific population, you're not seeing Pacific Islanders, taking up that. So there's something there, but we'll come back to that later. Let's talk about the UK and what's going on there with, that rise of, I guess, well, you call it Islam or.
Yeah.
What is that? What is happening over there, and why these protests are taking place?
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. It's a lack of replacement of the population by the native population. I mean, we can tie this into our earlier discussion about Anglicanism, Henry VIII, and that. Anglicanism was one of the first churches to accept birth control and contraception. If anything, they were the ones promoting it on the mainstream, a wide scale kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever met an Anglo-Saxon person with more than 3 kids in my entire life.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not just statistics saying these things. It's something you see on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. And that's sort of conducive to the condition at the moment, right?
Yeah.
There's the reason why they're having these anti-immigration protests.
That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So,
But I think if you look back in history, that's where the lesson was. So if you look at perhaps maybe the decline of the Roman Empire, so a lot of that came because of homosexuality, infanticide, and all of these other things like putting your career first and not having kids, right? So there was a massive decline. The barbarians took over.
Yep.
So basically, it was the Christians that were persecuting with their 12, 24 kids that literally preserved, right? Married these people, converted them, and brought Western civilization and Christianity back, right? So another problem over there is like people are saying, oh, you know, they're putting the migrants first or the immigrants first. All right. So they used to bag out the Spanish Inquisition. What do you think we were doing with the Spanish Inquisition? Right? We were vetting people who came into the church. So the only people that were summoned to the Inquisition were Catholics. So you'll get a lot of people that weren't Catholic, let's just say Jews, for instance, right? They will become Catholics for, let's say, political expediency or to gain some favor with the king or move up the courts, right? So once they were found out they were practicing Judaism at home, right? So then they had to face the courts and go, what are you doing? Right? So that's why we had the Spanish Inquisition. So everyone can slag off on the Inquisition, but it absolutely made sense. And that's what people want today. They want these immigrants that are coming in a smaller number and being vetted properly. Their documents, where they come from, what's their background. And that's what the church was doing hundreds of years ago. But when it came to history, right, it was a black myth that it was a really bad thing. They were just killing people left, right and centre. Absolute rubbish.
Wow.
So if you look at that entire, there's a reoccurring pattern. You understand? And I mean, shout out to Ireland, because when the barbarians took over, I think most of Europe, whether it's the Goths, Visigoths, the Lombards, the Franks and everyone else, right? So all of our studies, like whether it was science, literature, whatever it was taken and hidden in the monasteries in Ireland until everything settled down with the barbarians. They converted, then they brought everything back to the mainland, right? So the lessons are in history. Right, and they say in America a lot of the times, like, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Right? So history does repeat itself, but then I say it doesn't. Only the shit parts.
Wow. It's a very controversial topic because a lot of people blame a lot of different things for it. But what it really boils down to is a lack of replacing your own population. I do feel for the Anglos. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, this situation could have been avoided. It could have been avoided.
100%. And I got to say, in addition to that, it's like everyone is doing it again. All right. So you had this powerful empire, the Romans, but then they traded a list of virtues which they lived to the letter, right? For a hedonistic worldview, for luxuries, everything else. Stop having kids, right? When you have no kids, you're basically making your nation a cemetery and for someone to take over, right? And that's what's happening today. And the problem is, like I said, that Catholics had it right? God said to multiply. And through Protestantism, they were just like, oh, no, don't worry about that. That's a Catholic thing. So it was the Irish, right, that would have 24, 26 kids, 10 kids, 8 kids. And this bullshit about, we can't afford it. Where do you think the graces come from? The graces come from God, you doing his will. So every time God will put something out and you should follow the guidelines, he doesn't make it up for his own amusement, right? It's for your own good, the good of your nation, your culture, your way of life, right? But they don't have any belief, these Protestants, right? And they're just proud to be atheists, right? Where if you follow God's word, right, all the blessings, all the graces, everything you need, even when you pray that Our Father, give us this day our daily bread, give us what we need for this day, right, will be provided. God will provide. Whether you have 3 kids, 2, 10, 12, it will come. And that's in my own life as well, having a lot of kids. And I didn't know where the money was coming from, but I had faith in God. And my job, my pay, everything just got better and better and better. As long as I was faithful and living the virtuous life, the graces and the blessings were coming in.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. So, and this is affecting countries like Japan and, even Australia. Well, it's a worldwide thing, and it's a result. So really, it's a result of this atheistic sort of principle of self-preservation and self-determination rather than submitting to the will of the Creator.
It's just your hedonistic worldview. Like I said, you rather buy your boat, your yacht, your jet ski, and everything else, and then you buy a dog and say, "That's my kid." Are you stupid? Are you absolutely stupid? And then you guys sit there complaining on the net, we're being taken over. Us white people. Bro, have kids and go to church.
Okay, yeah. Look, I've got no comeback from that because that was really just, you want to hear truth? Well, that was the truth. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the solution is right in front of people's eyes. And when you were asking before, and we were speaking before about why is Catholicism necessary, well, this is one of the great examples as to why it's necessary.
Yeah.
The tenets of the religion and the practical ideas it has about family life, and you should reproduce and produce a lot of kids.
And that's the preservation of your civilization, your way of life, your culture, your nation, right?
It all falls together perfectly. And all the puzzles, all the pieces of the puzzle come together.
Wow.
If England just practiced Catholicism and Henry VIII didn't want to marry 25 times, England wouldn't be in the situation where the Birmingham mayor is now like an imam. It's just the way it's worked out because people made the wrong choices. Although in saying that, the solution is still there. Return to God, return to the practice of the true faith, and things will recover and things will get better. I don't know how much longer Europe will try to ignore God. I hope that they remember him soon enough because, to be honest, the complete decimation of their culture and way of life is on their doorstep and it's waiting to take over.
And more importantly, sorry to interject, it's in their hands.
It's in their hands.
I think they're just so domesticated, right, to be a certain way. They're so conditioned. It's like when you see an elephant at the circus that's been held by a stump, you laugh your ass off, right? But don't forget, it's been conditioned because when it was a baby, it was tied to a tree.
Yep.
And as it got older, it was just so used to, so now they just put a stump. And the same is happening with the European people, right? They've been conditioned to think a certain way that they can't do anything about it.
Yep.
You can,
Yep.
right? You can.
Yep.
And there's nothing greater than the triumph of the human spirit, obviously. We come out of our mums fighting for our lives. It's in us to fight,
Yep.
right? It's in us never to give up,
Yep.
right? So my message to Europe is go back to God, right? Start living a virtuous life and fight back, speak up, right? And just do what God wills. It was like when our Lord was in the garden. He didn't want to accept the chalice of the sufferings. He knew what he was going to come, but he said, not as I will, but as you will,
Yep.
to his Heavenly Father. That's what England, Ireland, Scotland, whoever it is, right? France, Germany, all of these people need to do. They need to return to the faith of their fathers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wow.
Yeah.
That was next level crazy.
Yeah.
And I can see, because I've never thought of it that way,
Yeah.
Honestly, this has been a real eye-opener for me. Like, I'm thinking, wow,
Yeah.
that makes sense. If all these people just shut up, get married, have kids, stop saying, oh, I don't know what I'm going to be, if I'm going to be a man or a woman.
Yeah.
For God's sake, just shut up, go out there, have some kids, you know what I mean? Have families.
Oh, where's the money going to come from? God will provide. Just do my will, I'll look after you.
Yeah.
Families have the power to change the world.
100%. And who do you think done better in the Great Depression? It was big families. Not small families, big families.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I feel inadequate. I feel like I should have spent more time in the bedroom and less time in the office. To some extent, I really feel you've really put me on notice there. I feel like I feel ripped off. Well, listen, I'll tell you something. So I'm not actually divorced from my Catholic wife, who's the mother of the girls.
Yeah.
May see if she's interested in procreating. Maybe.
Well, that's between you and your wife. Yeah.
My wife doesn't like the fact that we couldn't get married in the Catholic Church because
the
annulment process is hard, but I respect that. That's the. I'm not going to be a Henry VIII and say, well, come on, give me a dispensation. There's no way. Those are the rules, bro, and those are the rules.
It's the same with me. Like, I'm with Trace.
Yep.
I've actually spoken to her many times that it breaks my heart that I'm this way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether I was with Melissa or I'm with Tracy, right?
Yeah.
I should be married. I should be with just my bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could have been things I could have done differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like the whole blame's going on the other party.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to accept what you've done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had this talk and I said it just breaks my heart that I'm on the opposite side of God. I'm in direct conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, with God.
Yeah. That's a real That's a really valid point, because even for me, the reason why we didn't get we were married, but we're married. It's a secular marriage, man. Even though a friend of mine is a Christian, came down. We got married at the pub, but I know because of my doctrine and that I know what it is, man. I'm living in sin. Man. And so that's why my brother, who's a minister is actually a Samoan minister over at Edmonton. They got this 80 family congregation strong.
Wow!
Like they built this church over there.
Yeah.
And so, in our Catholic family, chatting with my siblings, right?
Yeah.
And they were going, you got to seek the, because it's my siblings, because they're Catholics, and they're like, come on, you got to try and get through the annulment process and all of that. And I said, boy, the Catholic Church, that means that our brother Simionga, who's a minister, is living in sin too, because he's.
100%.
I'm here pointing these things out, it's like
100%.
far out. And I thought, no one replied on the message. I was like, I deleted it. I thought, maybe that's a bit.
Well,
But, it is what it is. But I respect that fact, because I remember the last time you came, and we did have this conversation, and the words that hit me, mate, when you said I'm living in sin, it was like the raw truth of that, and it hit me too. So appreciate it, man. It is that, and it is. All right, moving on. What are we at?
We got Hollywood.
What are we at? So what's the time at the moment? How long's that been running?
Yeah. We'll go 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Got to get my boy home.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no worries.
He's feeling a bit under the weather.
Yep.
You've done so well today.
Mate, you've done awesome, man. You've really done awesome,
Thank
bro.
you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, okay, so we're at 15 minutes. Yeah, so we'll just do another 10 and that's it. We'll wrap it up.
So what else?
We've got plenty of content.
Wow. Yeah.
Plenty of content.
We've got heaps, man.
It's been a good night, eh?
It's been, it's been one of the best nights.
Just,
honestly,
coming out here in this dodgy little studio, doing our best to,
Man,
to talk.
No, this is a mad
Love
setup. Yeah.
Talk about these things, and
yeah.
and hopefully our show grows, the grace of God, and that, we get people that listen to our podcast, and, because it's really important to me to get the message out.
Well, let's talk about keeping the faith.
Yep.
For young ones.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's have a chat about keeping the faith for the young ones, and I'm talking about the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
What we hold to be the one true apostolic faith.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what are your views on that, Ambrose? As a young man? As a young man, what are your views on that?
I think the most important thing as a young person is put the truth first. I think the truth has to come first, and everything else follows the truth naturally. A lot of people struggle with spirituality, praying or going to mass and all of these things. And I would say the main struggle for them as to why they can't fulfill this on a consistent basis is because they haven't searched for the truth deep enough yet. They haven't put the truth first. Truth is more important than anything in this world, and if you understand it, then all the other stuff it comes a lot easier than before you understood what the truth is. A lot of people, they do all these things robotically and ritualistically, like a routine.
Like it's a routine.
Oh yeah, on Sundays I wake up and I go to church because my family goes to church, and that's all it is. But if they put the truth first and say, you know what, I'm going to put everything to the side, and I'm going to look for the truth as hard as I can. No matter where it takes me, I'm willing to go there. Whatever comes after you find where the truth is, whether it be the rituals and the waking up early or the fasting for communion, all of this, it all comes so much easier once you know, okay, I know this is the truth now. We live in a world that's completely geared against Catholicism, and I think everyone who practices Catholicism or knows a bit about Catholicism, we're all aware that we live in a very anti-Christian society, anti-Catholic society. Media, movies, everything that's out there, the government, they all promote things in one way or another, which makes it hard for us as Catholics to live our lives out day to day. So try to be spiritual, try to take at least, even if it's a minute or two out of your day, just to thank God, talk to God. It doesn't have to be formal prayer, it doesn't have to be the rosary, although that's great and the rosary is fantastic. But just have a little dialogue with the Creator and tell Him whatever's on your mind. Tell Him where you're struggling, where you need help. And you just put your trust in God. Eventually, He'll repay that. And there's been so many instances in my own life and in the life of my cousins. Like as Dad knows, all of us cousins, we didn't grow up with, we weren't millionaires, any of us kids. But the one thing that we had from the beginning that is more valuable than any money is the faith. And that's one thing that all of us cousins will never give up no matter what. So many of my cousins, and even myself, we had periods where we weren't so attuned to church and we were kind of falling by the wayside. But with all of us, that being said, there was moments where nothing else was there for us but our Lord Jesus Christ. And that's when we all realised, all right, after that, we're not going to stop after that. We're back to church, we're going to go full speed, do as much as we can. I think people need to hit rock bottom sometimes to fully value what our church is, who our Lord is.
Yeah.
100.
But for the young people, let everything that goes wrong in your life be the guide to where you should be going after that. Actually take on all of your losses. A lot of people, they try to throw it under the rug or ignore things that are going wrong in their life. Sit there and think about why they're going wrong. Why am I in this position? Not poor me, but think of why am I here?
Yeah.
Like, why am I going through this? Why are these things going wrong? I guarantee you, if people do that, they'll all lead them back to Christ. Especially for the Pacific youth. A lot of the Islander youth have very hard lives.
Yep.
They've come from households where there's problems and issues,
Yep.
more so than other cultures. I think that's a very stereotypical thing in the Islander community.
Yes.
And like a lot of them, like you said, outside, they go off the rails and they end up in other places and other things.
Yeah.
It really has to, you have to have a deep spirituality, and you don't have to start big, you can start small and just grow.
Yeah.
I think so. Saint Therese of Lisieux said, not everyone has to do great things, but all of us can do small things with great love.
Yeah.
And
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's
Well done.
that's all I could say.
Great
Yeah.
advice.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And just
In closing,
reflection to that, what Ambrose said is like, young ones with the faith, make it your own, right? Don't carry the faith of your mum or dad and where it becomes routine, right? Make it your own, love it, right? Get to know what your religion is. Get to know who Christ is. How can you love something that you don't know? You're so ignorant to. Get to know who God is. Get to know the church, its teachings, its doctrines, right?
Yep.
And make the faith your own, right? And no one can take that away from you. It's like if you go to church just because of your parents, when your parents go, along goes your faith when they die. You understand?
Yeah.
You must make it your own. Okay?
100%.
God bless you all.
God bless you all.
God bless
Ladies and
everyone.
gentlemen, once again, I'd like to thank Rino and Ambrose Amituanai for coming and joining us today. It's certainly been an eye-open, and God
Thanks,
bless you
guys.
all out there, everyone that's
Thank you.
listening to this podcast. God bless you all, and thank you, and have a very, very blessed Sunday tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Wow. What a roundup, eh? Wow, that was fantastic.
Thank you, Albert.
That's crazy. That,